Ski-Doo TNT 292. It's in pretty rough shape actually. The chassis is barely holding on. As you can see, there's lots of rust damage and holes up all through the belly pan. Really not much of a straight piece of metal left on it. Bumper's bent, the skis were bent, chassis tweaked a little bit. The drive chain was all rusted up and seized when I got it. Just sprayed it down with PB Blaster, and eventually it worked itself out. The secondary clutch was also frozen up, but just got that freed up and working. The brakes aren't right, but they kind of work. When I got it, it had a bad crank bearing, so I ended up getting a replacement bearing to put on the crank. But when I got it, I found out it didn't have the snap ring groove around the outside of the bearing. So instead of trying to buy a new bearing, I used a 1/16 inch cutoff wheel on the angle grinder, and I cut my own groove in the bearing for the snap ring. Worked out pretty good. Since this was a $0 rebuild, I reused all the stock original gaskets, seals, everything. First time I got it going, it had a little bit of a head gasket leak, but it seemed to have sealed itself. The piston was a little bit dinged up from the crank bearing going, and some bits of metal got through the works. So I had to free the rings and file the piston down a little bit, get it back into shape, but it's working all right now. Somebody had put a helicoil in the head, but unfortunately half the threads got ripped out of that. I was able to get about 4 good threads worth of helicoil in the head there. So I made this retention strap in case the spark plug blows out. It doesn't hit me in the face. No recoil. Cleaned up the old Tillotson HD. Had a little bit of water damage on the low speed circuit, but a little bit of carbon choke cleaner and some PB Blaster to soften up the gaskets, and it seems to be working alright. The plug wire acts as the kill switch. The track's in pretty good shape. The suspension's all frozen up. A lot of slide material left. Not sure how long those drive sprockets are going to last. They're not looking too healthy. Some sweet aftermarket turn signals. Even has a snow flap on there. Non-functioning gauges. Also went through the drive clutch and cleaned and lubed everything up. See if we can get her to fire up here. Almost.